applying therapeutic insights to everyday life. It's one thing to sit on a comfortable couch, talking through your feelings and uncovering deep truths about yourself. That space often feels safe, a bit like a laboratory where you can examine your thoughts and reactions under a microscope without immediate consequences. You might leave a session feeling lighter, clearer, or even a little raw, armed with a new understanding of why you do what you do. But then the door closes, and you step back into the bustling, sometimes messy, reality of your everyday life. Suddenly, the insights that felt so profound just moments ago can seem slippery, hard to grasp, and even harder to put into practice when faced with real-world pressures and familiar triggers. Bridging this gap, moving from the quiet understanding of the couch to the noisy demands of daily living, is where the real work of change truly begins. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. You can read all the instructions, watch videos, and even practice balancing indoors. But until you actually push off on the pavement, feel the wobbles, and learn to steer through real obstacles, you haven't truly mastered it. Therapy, or any deep self-reflection, provides the blueprint and the practice wheels, but life itself is the open road. The goal isn't just to understand your patterns. It's to actively reshape them when they show up in conversations with friends, during family dinners, or when deadlines loom at school. This transition from insight to action requires intention, patience, and a willingness to stumble, pick yourself up, and try again, knowing that each attempt is part of your unique growth journey. One of the most powerful insights we often gain is recognizing our triggers, those specific words, situations, or even tones of voice that send us spiraling into old, unhelpful reactions. Maybe it's a critical comment from a parent that makes you shut down, or a friend's casual dismissal that ignites a fierce need to prove yourself. On the couch, you might trace these reactions back to earlier experiences, understanding their roots. In everyday life, the challenge becomes spotting them in the moment before you've already reacted. This isn't about avoiding these triggers entirely. It's about developing a new kind of awareness, like a mental radar, that alerts you when an old pattern is about to kick in. Practicing this awareness can start small, perhaps by noticing the physical sensations that accompany a trigger. Does your stomach clench? Do your shoulders tense? Does your jaw tighten? These bodily cues are often the first signals that an old emotional program is about to run. Instead of letting your autopilot take over, these sensations can become your personal alarm system, a subtle nudge to pause. This pause, even if it lasts only a second, creates a tiny but crucial space between the trigger and your usual reaction. It's a moment of freedom, a chance to choose a different path than the one you've always taken, even if that choice feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable at first. Once you've managed that crucial pause, the next step is to observe, rather than react instantly. Imagine you're watching a movie of your own life, rather than being caught up as a character within it. What thoughts are racing through your mind? What emotions are bubbling up? Is it anger, fear, sadness, or a mix of everything? This observation isn't about judging yourself for feeling these things. It's simply about acknowledging them, giving them space without letting them dictate your next move. This practice of mindful observation helps to calm the storm within, allowing you to regain a sense of control and clarity before deciding how to proceed. From this place of calm observation, you can then begin to choose a new response, one that aligns more with the person you want to be, rather than the person you've been conditioned to be. Perhaps instead of lashing out when you feel attacked, you might key a deep breath and say, "I need a moment before I respond." Or, if you usually withdraw when feeling overwhelmed, you might try expressing, "I'm feeling a bit swamped right now. Can we talk about this later?" These new responses won't always feel natural at first, and you might even feel a bit awkward trying them out. But each time you choose differently, you're strengthening new neural pathways, making the healthier response a little easier for next time. Applying therapeutic insights also profoundly impacts how we communicate with others. Many of us grow up without learning how to clearly state our needs, set healthy boundaries, or express our feelings without blaming. Therapy often provides a safe space to practice these skills, to put words to our inner experiences. Translating this into everyday life means having those potentially difficult conversations, even when your heart is pounding. It might involve telling a friend that a certain joke isn't funny to you, or letting a family member know that you need more personal space. This isn't about being confrontational, it's about being authentic and honoring your own well-being, which ultimately strengthens your relationships. Learning to communicate more effectively is a journey, and there will be moments when your words don't come out perfectly, or when others don't respond exactly as you hoped. This is a normal part of the process, and it doesn't mean you've failed. What matters is the intention behind your effort and the willingness to keep trying. Every attempt, even the imperfect ones, is a step towards greater clarity and connection. Remember, you are building new muscles, and just like physical exercise, consistent practice, even when it feels challenging, is what leads to lasting strength and improved coordination in your interactions. Another vital area for applying therapeutic insights is in managing your emotions. We often learn in therapy that emotions aren't good or bad. They're simply messengers, providing information about our internal world. The challenge is to receive these messages without letting them hijack our entire day. When you feel a wave of anxiety before a presentation or a surge of frustration with a difficult classmate, instead of trying to push it away or letting it consume you, you can pause. Acknowledge the feeling. Okay, I'm feeling really anxious right now. Then you can choose how to respond to that feeling. Maybe it means taking a few deep breaths, going for a short walk, or journaling for a few minutes to process what's happening. This active management of emotions is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence and self-care. It's about becoming an active participant in your emotional landscape, rather than a passive victim of your feelings. By recognizing that you have a choice in how you respond to your internal experiences, you begin to cultivate a sense of agency and empowerment. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but rather about understanding them, allowing them to pass through you, and then choosing actions that serve your long-term well-being. It's a continuous conversation with yourself, fostering a deeper respect for your inner world and its signals. What happens when you mess up? Because you will. You'll slip back into old habits, say something you regret, or react exactly the way you swore you wouldn't. This is where the concept of self-compassion, often explored in therapy, truly shines in everyday life. Instead of beating yourself up with harsh self-criticism, which only perpetuates negative cycles, you can offer yourself the same kindness and understanding you would give to a close friend. Imagine what you'd say to someone you care about who just made a mistake. You'd likely offer encouragement, remind them they're human, and suggest they learn from it and move forward. Apply that same gentle voice to yourself. Practicing self-compassion doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook for your actions. It means edging your humanity and recognizing that growth isn't linear. It's about treating yourself with empathy when you falter, understanding that mistakes are part of learning. This approach allows you to reflect on what went wrong without getting stuck in a shame spiral. It enables you to apologize if needed, adjust your approach, and try again with renewed determination, rather than giving up entirely. This kind of inner kindness is a powerful tool for resilience, ensuring that setbacks become lessons rather than roadblocks on your path to personal growth. Remember that applying therapeutic insights isn't about making massive, dramatic changes overnight. It's about consistent, small adjustments that over time add up to significant transformation. Think of it like steering a large ship. Tiny corrections to the rudder, made consistently, will eventually change its entire course. Start with one small thing you want to work on each day or week. Perhaps it's pausing before you speak when you feel triggered, or practicing one clear no to something you don't truly want to do. These seemingly minor shifts are incredibly powerful because they build momentum and reinforce your commitment to a more intentional way of living. Each small victory, each time you successfully choose a new response, reinforces the idea that change is possible and that you are capable of it. Don't underestimate the power of these incremental improvements. They are the building blocks of lasting change, gradually reshaping your habits, your reactions, and ultimately, your sense of self. Celebrate these small wins, acknowledge your efforts, and understand that every step, no matter how tiny, moves you closer to a life that feels more aligned with your authentic self and your deepest values. This journey of applying insights to everyday life is, by its very nature, an ongoing practice. There's no finish line where you suddenly become a perfectly self-aware, perfectly calm individual who never makes a mistake. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, and new situations will test your newfound skills. The goal isn't perfection. It's continuous learning and evolution. It's about showing up for yourself each day, even when it feels hard, and committing to the process of growth, knowing that you are becoming more resilient, more compassionate, and more authentically you with every step. Embrace the idea that you are a lifelong student of yourself, always capable of learning, adapting, and growing. The tools and insights you gain, whether from therapy or from intentional self-reflection, are not meant to be stored away like precious artifacts. They are meant to be used, to be integrated into the fabric of your daily existence, transforming how you interact with the world and with yourself. This ongoing engagement with your inner landscape is what truly empowers you to navigate life's complexities with greater wisdom, grace, and genuine peace. Ultimately, applying therapeutic insights helps you live a life that feels more genuine and aligned with who you truly are. It helps you shed the layers of old programming and societal expectations that might have kept you from expressing your true self. When you act in ways that are consistent with your values, when you communicate authentically, and when you treat yourself with kindness, you build a stronger foundation for your well-being. This isn't just about solving problems. It's about creating a life that feels more meaningful, more connected, and more deeply satisfying. This deeper alignment brings a profound sense of inner peace and resilience. You become less reactive to external circumstances and more grounded in your own sense of self. The lessons learned on the couch become the compass guiding your decisions, ensuring that you navigate the currents of life with purpose and integrity. It's a journey toward wholeness, where every challenge becomes an opportunity to practice, to grow, and to shine as the unique the evolving individual you are meant to be. This is the true power of listening to yourself and applying those hard-won lessons to the beautiful, messy reality of your everyday existence. Building resilience for future challenges. Life, in its endless wisdom, doesn't stop throwing curveballs just because we've spent time on the couch, sifting through our past or untangling tricky emotions. In fact, sometimes it feels like the universe waits for us to get comfortable, only to then introduce a new, unexpected challenge. We might emerge from a period of intense self-reflection feeling clearer, lighter, and more aware. But that doesn't mean we've earned a free pass from future struggles. Instead, what we've truly gained is something far more valuable than immunity, a finely tuned internal compass and a sturdy toolkit. These aren't shields against life's inevitable storms, but rather the essential gear we need to navigate them with greater wisdom and less emotional wreckage. It's about being prepared, not protected, understanding that the journey continues long after the session ends. Our growth isn't about avoiding the rain, but learning how to dance in it, or at least how to find a strong umbrella. So, what does it truly mean to build resilience for these future challenges? Many people mistakenly think resilience means never feeling pain, never stumbling, or never being overwhelmed. But that couldn't be further from the truth. True resilience isn't the absence of struggle. It's the profound capacity to meet difficulty head-on, to feel its weight, and then to find our way back to equilibrium, often stronger and more insightful than before. It's about bending without breaking, knowing that even if we do crack, we have the inner resources and external supports to mend ourselves. This concept ties deeply into the vulnerability we've explored throughout these pages, because it's only by acknowledging our fragility that we can truly begin to cultivate our strength. Resilience is born from our willingness to be fully human, with all our imperfections and potential for hurt. One of the most powerful insights we gain from therapeutic work is a deeper understanding of our own patterns and triggers. When we face a new stressful situation, these insights become invaluable early warning systems. We learn to recognize the subtle shifts in our mood, the familiar knots in our stomach, or the urge to retreat that signal we're heading into choppy waters. Instead of being blindsided by old reactions, we can pause, observe, and consciously choose a different path. This self-awareness allows us to intervene before a small stressor snowballs into a full-blown crisis, giving us a crucial advantage in managing our emotional landscape. It's like having a weather forecast for our inner world, enabling us to prepare for the coming emotional climate rather than being caught off guard. When new difficulties arise, it's also incredibly important to extend ourselves the same compassion we would offer a dear friend. Often, our immediate internal response to struggle is self-criticism, a harsh inner voice that tells us we should be over this by now or stronger. This critical inner dialogue only serves to deplete our energy and erode our confidence, making it harder to cope effectively. Building resilience means actively challenging that inner critic and replacing its judgments with kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that experiencing hardship is part of the human experience and that it's okay not to have all the answers immediately. Offering ourselves grace during tough times isn't a weakness. It's a fundamental pillar of enduring strength and self-preservation. Cultivating resilience also involves actively integrating healthy practices into our daily lives, transforming insights into tangible actions. Think of these as the fundamental pillars supporting your well-being, ready to bear weight when life gets heavy. Simple yet profound habits like mindful breathing, ensuring adequate sleep, nourishing our bodies with good food, and engaging in regular physical movement build a strong foundation. These aren't luxuries. They are essential self-care practices that literally rewire our brains to better handle stress and bounce back from adversity. When our basic needs are consistently met, our emotional and mental reserves are fuller, making us much more capable of facing whatever comes next with a sense of grounded stability. We often forget that resilience isn't solely an individual endeavor. It's deeply rooted in our connections with others. The act of reaching out, of sharing our struggles with trusted friends, family, or even a support group can significantly lighten our load. Feeling seen and understood by others reminds us that we are not alone in our experiences, which is a powerful antidote to feelings of isolation and despair. These relationships act as vital safety nets, offering different perspectives, practical help, or simply a comforting presence when we feel overwhelmed. Allowing ourselves to lean on others when necessary is not a sign of weakness, but a profound demonstration of our capacity for connection and our understanding of shared humanity. Another crucial aspect of building resilience lies in our ability to reframe setbacks. It's natural to view difficulties as failures or insurmountable obstacles, especially when we're in the midst of them. However, resilience invites us to shift our perspective, seeing these challenges instead as opportunities for profound learning and unexpected growth. Every obstacle we navigate, every mistake we make, holds a valuable lesson embedded within it, waiting to be discovered. By asking, "What can I learn from this?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" we transform moments of defeat into stepping stones toward greater wisdom and adaptability. This shift in mindset doesn't diminish the pain, but it empowers us to extract meaning and purpose from our struggles. We must also remember that resilience is not a fixed trait we either possess or lack. It's a muscle that needs consistent exercise and attention. Just like going to the gym, we don't build physical strength by working out only when an emergency arises. Similarly, our emotional and mental resilience grows strongest when we practice coping strategies and self-care daily, not just during crises. This means consistently engaging in activities that bring us joy, practicing self-reflection, and consciously choosing healthy responses even to minor stressors. The small, everyday acts of self-care and mindful living accumulate over time, creating a robust inner fortitude that can withstand significant pressures when they inevitably appear. Take a moment to reflect on challenges you've already overcome in your life, even the ones that felt small at the time. Perhaps it was navigating a difficult breakup, mastering a new skill, or simply getting through a particularly tough week at work. Each of these experiences, no matter how minor they seem in retrospect, contributed to your personal history of resilience. Recognizing these past triumphs and acknowledging the strength it took to get through them reinforces your belief in your own enduring capacity to cope. This internal library of successes serves as powerful evidence that you possess the inner resources to face future difficulties, reminding you that you've navigated tough terrain before and emerged on the other side. As you move forward, consider consciously building your own resilience toolkit, a personalized inventory of strategies and resources you know work for you. This might include a go-to mindfulness exercise, a specific person you can always call for support, a comfort activity like reading or listening to music, or even a journal where you process your thoughts. The key is to have these tools readily available, so when stress hits, you don't have to scramble to figure out what might help. Knowing our toolkit and how to use it empowers you to respond proactively rather than reactively, giving you a sense of agency and control even amidst challenging circumstances. Ultimately, building resilience is an ongoing, evolving process, not a destination you arrive at and then check off a list. Life is dynamic, and so too must be our approach to navigating it. What worked for you 5 years ago might need adjusting now, and what helps you today might evolve tomorrow. This journey requires a willingness to remain curious about ourselves, to adapt our strategies as we grow, and to continuously learn from both our successes and our struggles. It's about embracing the ever-changing nature of existence with an open heart and a flexible mind, understanding that true strength comes from our capacity to adapt and grow. This continuous process of building resilience circles back to the core message of this book, the profound importance of listening. It means truly listening to our bodies when they signal fatigue, listening to our emotions when they indicate distress, and listening to our intuition when it whispers guidance. It involves hearing the quiet voices of our needs and responding to them with care and intention. By cultivating this deep internal listening, we become our own best advocates, able to identify what we need to stay strong, recover, and ultimately thrive, even in the face of life's most demanding moments. So, as you step off the couch, metaphorically speaking, and re-engage with the world, carry with you the understanding that you are equipped for what lies ahead. You have cultivated insights, practiced vulnerability, and begun to forge a resilient spirit that will serve you well. Future challenges will undoubtedly appear, as they do for everyone, but you now possess a deeper reservoir of strength and self-awareness. Face them not with dread, but with a quiet confidence, knowing that you have the capacity to navigate them, to learn from them, and to continue evolving into the most authentic and enduring version of yourself. The ripple effect. How personal growth impacts others. Think about dropping a stone into a still pond. The tiny splash quickly becomes a series of ever-widening rings spreading across the water. Our personal growth works much the same way, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond our individual lives. When we commit to understanding ourselves better, to healing old wounds, or to simply becoming more patient, that change doesn't stay locked inside us. It begins to move outward, touching the people closest to us first, then reaching further into our communities and even the wider world. This isn't about bragging or demanding attention for our efforts. It's a natural consequence of becoming a more whole and authentic person. Every small step we take in our personal journey creates a subtle shift in the air around us, a positive energy that others can sense and respond to. It's a quiet, powerful transformation that often happens without us even realizing the full extent of its reach. True personal growth often starts in the quietest corners of our minds and hearts, sometimes with a tiny flicker of awareness. Maybe it's recognizing a pattern of behavior we want to change, or finally deciding to face a fear we've avoided for years. These aren't grand, public declarations. They are private moments of courage and commitment. We might start by simply pausing before reacting angrily, or choosing to listen more carefully, instead of always planning our next response. These small internal adjustments might seem insignificant at first glance, like a barely perceptible shift in the wind. Yet, it's these subtle internal victories that lay the groundwork for bigger, more noticeable changes in our lives. They are the seeds we plant that will eventually blossom and bring about a more positive landscape. As these internal shifts take root, they inevitably begin to show themselves in our actions and attitude. S. Someone who has been working on patience might find themselves less stressed in traffic, offering a small smile instead of a frustrated sigh. A person learning to be more open will start sharing their thoughts and feelings more freely, making eye contact and truly engaging in conversations. These aren't just surface-level changes. They are genuine expressions of the deeper work we've been doing within ourselves. Others might notice a new calmness in our voice, a lighter step in our walk, or a more genuine warmth in our interactions. These visible signs become the initial ripples, signaling that something positive and profound is happening from the inside out. The people who know us best, our family and closest friends, are usually the first to experience the benefits of our personal growth. When we become more understanding, our family dynamics can soften, leading to fewer arguments and more heartfelt connections. If we learn to communicate our needs respectfully, our friendships can deepen, built on a foundation of trust and mutual support. Imagine how a parent who learns to manage their stress better creates a calmer home environment for their children. Or how a friend who practices active listening makes others feel truly heard and valued. Our personal changes can inspire them to reflect on their own lives, not because we ask them to, but because they witness the positive transformation within us. This creates a powerful cycle where everyone benefits from the increased emotional health and stability. Sometimes, our personal journey acts like a gentle nudge, encouraging others to consider their own paths. When a friend sees you handling a tough situation with newfound grace, they might wonder how you managed it and seek out similar tools for themselves. A family member observing your commitment to self-care might start prioritizing their own well-being, inspired by your example, rather than any direct advice. This isn't about telling people what to do or trying to fix them. It's about living authentically and allowing your positive changes to speak for themselves. The mere presence of someone who is actively growing and evolving can be a powerful motivator, showing others what's possible and sparking their own desire for change. It's a subtle yet profound way we can contribute to the growth of those around us. Consider some everyday examples of how our personal growth can radiate outwards. Practicing more kindness, for instance, might mean holding a door open for a stranger or offering a sincere compliment, brightening someone's day unexpectedly. Developing greater patience could translate into being a more understanding listener to a frustrated coworker, helping them feel supported instead of judged. If we work on our own self-compassion, we might find ourselves extending that same empathy to a friend who is struggling, offering comfort without criticism. Even something as simple as managing our own anxieties better can make us more present and enjoyable company, allowing others to relax and be themselves around us. These small, intentional acts, born from our inner work, add up to a significant positive impact on the world around us. One of the most powerful ways our personal growth creates ripples is through our willingness to be vulnerable. When we share our own struggles, our moments of doubt, and the efforts we're making to overcome them, we give others permission to do the same. It shows them that it's okay not to be perfect, and that seeking help or working on oneself is a sign of strength, not weakness. Imagine a friend admitting they're going to therapy, or a family member openly talking about a difficult emotion they're learning to process. This kind of honesty can break down barriers and create a deeper sense of connection, inviting others to step out of their own isolation. Our courage to be real about our journey often becomes a beacon for someone else who is silently navigating similar challenges. It's crucial to remember that the goal of this ripple effect isn't to pressure anyone else into changing. Our growth is for us, and any positive impact on others is a wonderful side effect, not a primary objective. Trying to force someone to change, even with the best intentions, often creates resistance and resentment. Instead, focus on your own journey, on becoming the best version of yourself, and trust that your authentic transformation will naturally inspire those who are ready for it. The most effective way to encourage growth in others is to model it yourself, living proof that positive change is not only possible, but also deeply rewarding. Let your actions speak louder than any words or advice you could offer. To keep those positive ripples spreading, we must first ensure our own well-being, much like a well needs to be full to provide water to others. Neglecting our own needs, burning ourselves out in an attempt to help everyone else, will eventually dry up our capacity to create any positive impact. This means continuing to prioritize our self-care, whether it's getting enough rest, spending time in nature, pursuing hobbies, or continuing our own therapeutic work. Our personal growth is an ongoing process, not a destination, and maintaining it requires consistent effort and self-compassion. Only when we are strong and centered can we truly offer our best selves to the world and sustain the positive changes we wish to see. Over time, these individual ripples of growth can combine to create significant currents in our collective lives. A community where more individuals are practicing empathy, communicating effectively, and managing their stress creates a more supportive and harmonious environment for everyone. Children growing up in homes where vulnerability is accepted and emotional intelligence is valued will carry those lessons into their own futures, multiplying the positive impact. Each act of personal growth, no matter how small, contributes to a larger tapestry of human connection and understanding. It's a powerful testament to how seemingly individual journeys can weave together to form a stronger, more compassionate society. Sometimes, the most profound changes happen not through grand gestures, but through the quiet consistency of our evolving selves. Someone might not explicitly tell you that your increased patience has made them feel more comfortable sharing their struggles, but they might instinctively seek you out when they need a listening ear. A shift in your own perspective on a challenging situation might subtly influence how a friend approaches a similar problem, simply by observing your calm demeanor. This quiet power of influence is often overlooked, yet it's incredibly potent, demonstrating that our internal world truly shapes our external one. We don't need to preach or instruct. Simply living our growth authentically is often enough to plant seeds of change in others. Ultimately, understanding the ripple effect reminds us that our personal journey is never truly just about us. Each step we take towards greater self-awareness, healing, and compassion sends out vibrations that touch countless lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. It's a powerful validation of the effort we put into ourselves, knowing that this investment not only enriches our own existence, but also contributes to the well-being of our collective human experience. So continue to listen to yourself, to grow, and to evolve, because the positive impact you have is far greater than you might ever imagine, spreading kindness and understanding with every gentle ripple, continuing the journey, lifelong learning and evolution. We often imagine personal growth as a finish line, a moment where everything clicks into place and all our struggles magically disappear. It's easy to picture ourselves crossing that invisible barrier, suddenly enlightened and free from all our old patterns. But the truth, as many of us discover on the path of CLF discovery, is far more nuanced and, frankly, much more beautiful. There isn't a single destination where the work truly ends. Instead, life is a continuous landscape of learning, adapting, and evolving. This journey isn't about eradicating every challenge, but about building a stronger, more flexible self to navigate them. It's about understanding that growth isn't a fixed state, but a dynamic process, much like the changing seasons. Embracing this ongoing nature allows us to shed the pressure of perfection and simply be present in our own unfolding story. Think about it. Who you were 5 years ago isn't entirely who you are today, and who you'll be 5 years from now will also be different. This constant state of flux is a fundamental part of being human, yet we often resist it, clinging to old identities or past versions of ourselves. We might tell ourselves, "I'm just not a morning person," or "I've always been bad at public speaking," as if these labels are permanent tattoos rather than temporary sketches. Therapy, or any deep dive into self-reflection, helps us see these self-imposed limitations for what they are, stories we've told ourselves. It's a powerful realization when we understand that we have the power to rewrite these narratives, not just once, but over and over again. This ongoing narrative building is where true personal evolution takes root and flourishes. Lifelong learning isn't just about reading books or taking classes, it's about actively engaging with our experiences and extracting wisdom from them. Every setback, Every moment of joy, every difficult conversation holds a lesson waiting to be uncovered. Sometimes these lessons hit us over the head with undeniable force, leaving us no choice but to pay attention. Other times, they whisper softly, requiring us to quiet the noise and truly listen to our inner voice. The challenge, and indeed the opportunity, lies in cultivating a curious mindset, one that approaches life not with certainty, but with an open question. This active curiosity transforms ordinary moments into profound opportunities for deeper understanding and personal growth. It's about becoming a detective of your own life, always searching for clues. To truly learn and evolve, we must remain vulnerable, even after we feel we've graduated from a particular struggle. Vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's the fertile ground where new insights can sprout and take hold. It means being open to admitting when we don't know something, when we've made a mistake, or when an old wound resurfaces unexpectedly. This willingness to be seen, even in our imperfections, allows us to connect more deeply with others and with ourselves. It also prevents us from becoming rigid in our thinking, protecting us from the illusion that we have all the answers. Embracing vulnerability is a commitment to staying soft and pliable, ready to adapt to whatever life throws our way next. It's a brave act of continually choosing growth over comfort. One of the most valuable aspects of ongoing self-awareness is the ability to recognize old patterns as they emerge in new contexts. You might find yourself in a new job, facing a different kind of pressure, only to notice that familiar anxiety tightening in your chest. Or perhaps a new relationship triggers an old fear of abandonment that you thought you'd put behind you. This isn't a sign of failure. It's an invitation to apply the lessons you've already learned with fresh eyes. It's a chance to practice new responses, to choose a different path than the one your conditioned self might instinctively take. Each time we observe these echoes of the past, we gain another opportunity to solidify our new, healthier ways of being. Healing isn't a straight line. It's more like a spiral staircase, where we revisit similar themes at different levels of understanding. You might confront an issue, feel like you've resolved it, and then encounter it again months or years later, but with a new perspective or a deeper emotional capacity to process it. This cyclical nature can sometimes feel frustrating, as if you're going backward, but it's actually a sign of progress. Each time you circle back, you bring with you all the wisdom and strength you've accumulated since the last visit. It's an opportunity to integrate those earlier lessons more fully, weaving them into the fabric of who you are becoming. This ongoing integration is the essence of true evolution. As we continue this journey, maintaining a sense of curiosity about ourselves becomes paramount. Instead of judging our reactions or flaws, we can ask, what is this trying to teach me? Or, where did this belief come from? This gentle inquiry fosters self-compassion, which is vital for sustained growth. Be kind to yourself when you stumble, when you regress, or when you simply feel lost. Treat yourself with the same understanding and patience you would offer a dear friend who is struggling. Self-compassion isn't about letting yourself off the hook. It's about creating a safe inner space where true learning and lasting change can occur. It's the fuel that keeps the engine of personal evolution running smoothly. Evolution isn't usually a sudden, dramatic leap. It's more often a series of small, intentional steps taken consistently over time. It's the choice to pause before reacting, to listen deeply to another person, to forgive yourself for a perceived mistake, or to try something new that feels a little uncomfortable. Each of these seemingly minor decisions builds upon the last, slowly reshaping our habits, our perspectives, and ultimately our lives. These small acts of courage and awareness accumulate, creating a powerful momentum for change. Don't underestimate the profound impact of these daily choices on your long-term personal development. They are the bedrock of lasting transformation. Often, the biggest leaps in our evolution come when we step outside our comfort zones. Discomfort, while unpleasant, can actually be a compass pointing us toward areas where growth is most needed. It might be the discomfort of having a difficult conversation, trying a new skill, or confronting a long-held fear. Instead of immediately retreating from these feelings, we can learn to lean into them, understanding that they are often precursors to expansion. This doesn't mean recklessly throwing ourselves into painful situations, but rather recognizing that true growth rarely happens within the familiar confines of our established routines. It's about finding the courage to stretch beyond what feels safe. Our individual journey of learning and evolution doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's deeply interconnected with the world around us. As we grow, we naturally begin to see others with more empathy and understanding, which in turn strengthens our relationships and communities. Our personal changes can have a ripple effect, inspiring those around us to embark on their own paths of self-discovery. This collective evolution is a powerful force, reminding us that our individual efforts contribute to something much larger than ourselves. When we commit to our own growth, we are also contributing to the betterment of the human experience as a whole. It's a beautiful dance between the self and the world. Paradoxically, a key part of lifelong learning is embracing the wisdom of not knowing. The more we learn, the more we realize how much more there is to discover, both about ourselves and the world. This humility prevents us from becoming complacent or rigid in our beliefs. It keeps us open to new ideas, different perspectives, and the endless possibilities that life presents. Letting go of the need to have all the answers frees up mental space, allowing for genuine curiosity and deeper exploration. It's in this space of open-ended inquiry that some of our most profound breakthroughs often occur. This willingness to remain a student is a hallmark of true wisdom. The journey of evolution isn't always about grand revelations. Sometimes it's found in the quiet joy of discovering something new in the ordinary. It might be noticing the intricate patterns on a leaf, truly hearing a friend's laughter, or feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin. These small moments, when approached with presence and an open heart, can offer profound insights and a deep sense of connection. They remind us that learning isn't confined to formal settings, but is woven into the very fabric of our daily lives. Cultivating this awareness allows us to find wonder and growth in the most unexpected places. It's about seeing the extraordinary in the everyday. True evolution isn't just about accumulating knowledge, it's about integrating those insights into our daily actions and choices. It means taking the awareness gained from a moment of reflection and applying it to how we speak to our loved ones, how we manage stress, or how we approach our work. This bridge between understanding and doing is where real change takes root. It's not enough to simply know better. We must also strive to do better, consistently and compassionately. This active integration transforms abstract concepts into lived realities, solidifying our growth and making it a tangible part of who we are. This journey of lifelong learning is an ongoing dialogue with our inner selves, a conversation that deepens and evolves over time. It's about regularly checking in, asking ourselves how we're truly feeling, what we genuinely need, and what fears might be holding us back. This internal communication builds a stronger relationship with our authentic self, allowing us to navigate external challenges with greater clarity and integrity. Learning to listen to these inner whispers, rather than silencing them, is a powerful act of self-care and a crucial component of continuous growth. It's the ultimate feedback loop for personal evolution. While the journey is ongoing, it's important to celebrate the milestones along the way. Acknowledge your progress, recognize how far you've come, and allow yourself moments of pride and satisfaction. These celebrations aren't about reaching a final destination, but about honoring the effort and courage you've invested in your growth. They provide fuel for the next leg of the journey, reinforcing the belief that your efforts are worthwhile. However, these celebrations should never be a signal to stop. Instead, they are gentle reminders that there is always more to explore, more to learn, and more to become. Ultimately, committing to lifelong learning and evolution is about crafting a legacy of an evolving self. It means living a life where you are constantly striving to understand, to connect, and to grow, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of those around you. The person you become through this continuous process is your greatest gift to the world. It's a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to adapt, to heal, and to thrive, no matter what challenges arise. This commitment to ongoing personal development is perhaps the most profound act of hope we can offer ourselves and the future.